Alright, so welcome everyone. So till now we have discussed the important workflow and the arrangement of our attributes to sustain all those important properties of the simulation to provide the accurate physics to the falling of the bag. Alright. And here in this lesson, we're gonna simply accentuate that process since I believe so that just dropping a bag won't going to be the enough. So what we're gonna do is that we're gonna exaggerate or we're gonna a little bit accentuate the motion of the falling bag by adding some few principles of the animation. It was a quick suggestion, one of my friend gave it to me, and I would seriously like to consider his suggestion. Like, if we're gonna throw the bag from off the screen, and we're gonna have some nice curve inside the motion of the bag, so that really will gonna help us in achieving a better workflow. Okay, so that really going to be a simple approach. Just imagine yourself like the way you used to do the animations in the Maya by following the important principles of the animations, by using the transformation node, of course, in the Maya to control the keys and the attributes of the translate x, y, z, rotate x, y, z, something like that. Okay, in a very similar fashion, we're gonna restrict or constrain the motion or the movements of our enclosed object by providing it our own key set attributes. Okay, so that's really going to be a simple process for me. I'll just need to grab these vertices from one of the corner of our enclosed object, and we can give it something called in the n dynamics menu under n constraint the transform node. Okay, so this transform constraint will obviously going to restrict the behavior as well as the motion of our enclosed. Let me just a little bit scale that up so that it could be easier for us to select for future access. Now, if I'm gonna play the timeline, you can clearly see that now the bag is completely, stuck up at one corner. Although it giving me a very it's just like that some heavier thing, a very powerful thing must have hold this bag because it's still gonna be a very heavy object. So, anyways, what's next I'm gonna do is that let me just select that constraint and go back to our zero frame, and let's say uh, for 15 frames only we're gonna give some attributes to our translate z-axis. So let me just first of all put a key over here and play the timeline for, let's say, 15 frames. Okay, and let me just drag that a bit. 20 I guess is gonna be a good value to start. Key that over. All right, and in the graph editor you could see that at frame 16, or you can take back to the 15 and put that over to 20 just for your own convenience, and just play the timeline once again to see the behavior. And I guess that's really going to be good because at this situation our bag will going to get dropped, so we're going to have some nice curves and the arcs inside the motion. So again I'm going to select that one, and let me just open up the attribute editor of the uh, constant shape, and you could see some important attributes. One is the strength, another is the glue strength. I recommend to play around with the glue strength. All right, let's say we have zero glue strength. Okay, so the moment I play the timeline, the back should fall because there is definitely no forcing acting upon the our object to be get constrained or stuck up. Okay, again it will be a free fall, which surely the way we don't want. So what next I can give it to that? First of all, we need to analyze at what particular frame we need to give the value of the glue strength to approximately 0. So I guess first of all, let's just put again 1 and set a key. Moving back to frame 15, again we're gonna give the value of 1, and I guess at frame 22 we should give a value of 0. But I also need to adjust that with the help of the graph editor. Let me just take a look at that and see how far I can agree to those settings. Well, I guess that's going to be a good start, since you can see that we all just need to have that curve in our in the motion of the bag. So I guess that must have solved the problem. Okay, so I guess that was a fairly good setup to get started. Let me just have a little bit more closer view. So we're gonna play the timeline once again, and let me just see the moment it's gonna drop itself. Yeah, that's completely gonna be fine. As such, no interpenetrations are occurring, or if they are still occurring, again with the help of the higher substeps value, the bag is letting itself to get settled. Okay, that's gonna be really good, I guess. And just for your info, I just have, increase the values of the rigidity to 0.150 and the deform resistance to 4. Rest all is the same, okay? Just take that thing into account once you're playing with that, because I was just, I thought that it should have little bits of more stuff, or you can say some uh, rigidity inside its nature. So that's the reason I gave the rigidity to 0.150. And along with that, the deform resistance was also a little bit quicker. So I just want to give some more delay by taking the thing 3 to 4. All right. So what next we're going to do, I guess we just need to cast it out, and that's it. So for this, I would like to recommend you, if you're interested, you can go for the end cache, of course, but I suggest you that if you really want to do that, that's also going to be okay. But let's say we're going to take the help of the geometry cache. Okay, so it's going to be quite a simple process. We have to select our piece of an enclosed and go to the geometry cache and click somewhere called create new cache. Let me just name that one. Let's say uh, bag underscore cache. Okay, the settings will going to be let's say start and end, and let me just put that for 120 frames, or I guess approximately 150. Yeah, and everything's gonna be the same, the default. And I just gonna pause that video for you, and let me just have the cache. Okay, all right, so welcome back. And now I've got the cache of my bag, and let me just scrub the timeline to see its impact. And it's very good at working fine for me. All right, so let me just view that up from a closer section, send it back, play the timeline once again, and that's gonna be okay, I guess. It's fairly simple scene setup, guys. I hope so this gonna help you solve the problems. And of course, now I guess we are ready to move to our next lesson, where I'm gonna show you the stuff, the creation of the fluid stuff when the bag is gonna fall upon the ground. All right. So I guess we must have got the fair enough idea. We use the enclosed object. Again, we're going to use the geometry cache to bake out our simulations, to make it cache, to make it much easier for us to work with other dynamic sections. Of course, we're going to create the particle stuff and the fluid stuff also. Okay, so now let's just move to the next lesson.